Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, to some first impressions on the BMP-2M. And this is a very special vehicle. Trust me on this. So just trying to get things into order. First of all, this is the first impressions. Second of all, I need to make here a clear statement. I got this thing fully upgraded again from Gaijin to make a video on it. I requested it, and they just gave me access to the vehicle. The BMP-2M is more or less another Squadron event activity reward vehicle, and it costs you around 520,000 Squadron event activity RP, if you can call it like this. And it is a rank 7 one at battle rating 9.3, and in all essence it is a BMP-2 with improved missile handling and missile capabilities, and it combines basically the BMP-2 and the ability from the Japanese Type 89 to fire missiles on the move. You have 4 of those tandem warhead missiles, which are incredible, and you can reload them once, so overall you have 8. And then obviously your proven 30mm, which just takes no prisoners whatsoever. So sadly I didn't have the time that I wanted to have a look at it, so you get not a single battle, but more or less a compilation of what the thing can do. And, this might be one of the most fun high-tier tanks that you might come across. So is it worth it to unlock via Squadron vehicle? Absolutely. But is it worth the 7,300 golden eagles that it would cost you to get it immediately? I don't think so, because this doesn't have a premium status. And that is something that apparently not everybody gets, not everybody knows. So if you unlock it via Squadron activity or via Golden Eagles, you still have to buy it for 1.14 million civilians, getting into a crew for 290,000 civilians, and another million civilians to get the expert qualification. And then you still have to go through a stock grind. And yes, the stock grind is doable, and you still have those missiles right from the start, those 152mm 9M133. There are tandem warhead ATGMs, 300 meters per second maximum speed on the trajectory, 5.5 kilometers maximum range, 4 kilograms of explosive TNT equivalent mass, and 1,200 millimeters of penetration, and that goes through some very thick armor. Now, what are the downsides if everything sounds so good, right? Well, first of all, the thing is, this is a light tank, so that means it has a lot of the perks, and they are amazing. However, your horsepower to ton ratio barely exceeds 20. And so your top speed of 65 kilometers per hour is not really achieved unless you're on very hard terrain or a hard ground or a paved road. And the reverse gear isn't that great. Your armor is all but existent. You're susceptible to hull break. But other than this, I think it's really fantastic. But going back to the speed, 20 horsepower per ton plus is never really bad in the sense of a Churchill or a Maus or a T-95, but there are so many tanks around this battle rating that match or significantly exceed your cross-country speed, so your off-road speed basically. And so I think that this is one of those factors that you really have to take into account. This thing is great, but it has its limits. And to be honest, I think that back in the days, the BMP-2 left a better impression. It is a full battle rating lower, and yes, it only has access to 4 missiles that you have to individually reload, and those 9M113 ATGM concours, they are great, but they are not that great. They have half the penetration, but for that you're a full battle rating lower where your speed matters more. So I think that the Tech-Tree BMP-2 is a bit more enjoyable, despite having even more limits, but it is a full battle rating lower. Now, how useful are those ATGMs? They are incredible. They are outstandingly good. You can fire 4 of them on the move, and they don't really care about thick composite armor, or they don't care about ear protection, because they are tandem warhead. The post-penetration damage effect is also really nice. It's a fantastic combination of firepower. And then, as I said, there is the 30mm, and this 30mm is all that it takes. It has 300 rounds of ammunition overall, and you can also then unlock, as a tier 3 modification, the APDS belt, which has 82mm of penetration. And it is not the single shell that does the damage, but it will do the damage eventually. And you can switch between the default belt as the second belt, which has 50-50 ratio of AP and high explosive with a max penetration of 65mm. The HE belt which has a 3-to-1 ratio of HE to AP, or the AP belt which has a 3-to-1 ratio of AP to HE. So overall, it is suited for all things. But there is one thing that I have not mentioned, and that is a roof-mounted 30mm automatic grenade launcher. However, that is, in my sense, not really useful. And while it looks cool and it has the capabilities of MK108, for all intents and purposes, the muzzle velocity is 185 meters per second, and the maximum penetration for a TNT equivalent bursting charge of 285 grams is a mere 6mm. That leaves things to be desired. Maybe this is bugged, maybe this is exactly right, but how useful is this? Not really. And also you come into conflict with your key bindings, at least I did a lot. So this was nice to look at, nice to theorize about, but not really useful in battle. It's about the 30mm, it's about the ATGM, and that is all that matters. So yeah, there you have it. That is the BMP-2M. However, there is another aspect that we have to look at. You can unlock this, as far as I'm aware, if you're in a squadron, by just playing the game. It doesn't matter which game mode, it doesn't matter which vehicle type you're driving, or sailing, or flying, planes, helicopters, tanks, ships, doesn't really matter. The thing is this, and it's just incredible. This is essentially, potentially, a completely free look at top tier. Because it is rank 7, and it is battle rating 9.3. So please keep that in mind if you look at this thing and you think about if you want to get it. For seasoned veteran players of War Thunder, it's definitely a nice tool to have and a nice toy, and it fits very nicely into the 9.3 battle rating lineup. You know, together with, for example, the T62A and the T64A, sorry about this, but also the other tank that is the Sturm S. However, it outperforms the Sturm S in almost any aspect. The only thing that it misses are the proximity high explosive ATGMs versus helicopters, but for that you still have 4 ATGMs that you can fire in quick succession, and also obviously the 30mm. So that's all for me today. I have really no idea. This came as a full surprise to me. Definitely a thing that I had fun in playing with, but it also has its limitations. For example, 4 degrees of gun depression. That sucks. Other than this, really nice vehicle, but again, not a premium. Having said this, that's it for me today. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like with it, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the waves, in the skies, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.